I'm Worm Food in the chat. My character's name is Donk. I am a Goliath of not so bright intelligence, so it kind of art
It kind of
reflecting
matches
life.
your real life.
Exactly, art reflecting life, so we're good to go. Kel?
Reflexes are matching
I am
real life.
Torquemada286 in the chat, and I'm playing Kelkazim the Magnificent.
I am 603 in the chat. I'm playing Raz, the Halfling Ranger.
You're up, Jub.
Joe.
I'm Theo. I'm JubJub787 in the chat, and I'm playing the Mountain Dwarf Bard.
So you're JubJub787. So you're telling me that there are 787 other Jubs? That's how you had to get that guy?
No, it's just easy numbers for me to remember.
Okay.
Thanks for playing tonight. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, last time on D&D, the guys returned to the spire after they had defeated the Manticore, and so they brought their head back. They had the Manticore back to the spire, and that's where they met Laura, who was the enchanting and powerful, beautiful high elf wizard. Shut up, worm.
She hammed that up pretty good. I like it.
It's just, they were just, the party just was in all of her greatness, and they just felt compelled to invite her to the group. Okay, I'm done with that. Anyway, Savra Bellabronte invited everybody, all of the group inside, to celebrate and to have a feast in honor of the team's victory. Since they had been actually hunting the Manticore before themselves, and so they were pretty impressed that the group of four had managed to do that. And there was even a trophy room where they were going to be hanging the Manticores as a trophy. And later that evening, we all got a chance to kind of explore the spire a little bit, and then later that evening, we all sat down and had a feast. And there was all kinds of wonderful food, even though Laura thought the food was poisoned. And then during the evening, the conversation kind of turned to the Earth cult, and the leader of the spire started discussing the Sacred Stone Monastery, and he believed that the monks there were harboring some sort of evil. And so I think we're going to be picking up tonight, where we're going to be heading out and investigating, and of course killing everything in sight.
Exactly. Good recap. And thanks again, Jub, for playing. So this is where we're at. Basically, dinner has concluded. Everyone has had a great Manticore stew feast. Like Thurl and Savra has told everyone, you guys are more than welcome to stay at Feathergale Spire for the night, because it is now nighttime. So if you'd like to get a good rest, which you guys have already had the rest, you guys have already got basically a long rest in. So if you guys want to stay the night, feel free to. We can fast forward to the next morning. You guys can leave. Just take the several-mile journey to the monastery. Let me pop up the Desserin Valley map for you guys.
Dave.
Yes.
Since I lost audio last week, how many people were with us at the dinner?
Oh, it was Savra and Thurl, and a lot of the other initiates, not the initiates that were actually working in the kitchen when you found them, because they're the ones that brought the dinner out, but a lot of the other riders that had just been getting to the spire during the day, because they thought that the hunt was the King's Quest was still going to be on. Yeah, there's probably near a dozen individuals at the long table. And he had also explained, Kel, that your names are going to be permanently engraved on the Manicore head after it's been taxidermied and put on the wall behind them. You know, he kind of pointed to a spot on the wall that several of the initiates that have already been preparing to, you know, put this giant Manicore head up there. And he says that it'll be a tribute to you, and you'll be the first of, you know, any of the other previous lords of, you know, of the Spire and of the actual elite club, as they call themselves, the Riders. Then you're the first that has not been a rider that's actually successfully completed the King's Quest, you know, event. But he says you'll get the recognition. Your halls will be up here, and you know, for eternity.
Okay, I was just wondering on the numbers. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
So Dave, we're definitely Donk's gonna move up, go back to his little bed area, and you know, remember I slid 2 beds together, and I'm just gonna flop out on the bed and try to get some rest.
Okay.
So definitely want to spend the night here and get all rested up. I almost feel like I should rage just as practice before I go to sleep, but it'll probably keep me up.
Do you think it could end badly too, maybe?
Yeah, that's right. I might rage, and then, you know, it'll be like I'm a actor in a hotel room and just trash the place.
So where I'm kind of marking on the map now, this is pretty much where the Sacred Stone Monastery is, and I keep wanting to put some little markers, and I'm gonna put some markers in here. I just haven't done it yet. I've been working on a bunch of other stuff. So, but the sort of like the third dot over on the right, that's pretty much where the Sacred Stone Monastery is at, from where Thurl had, you know, basically pointed it onto your map. All right, so you guys are all turned in for the evening. Does anybody want to do anything? Anybody? Are you guys waiting for the next morning, or what? You know, and everybody has their own. Morning. Pretty much everyone has their own, you know, their own quarters and stuff too.
Kel doesn't have any other plans for that night.
Yeah, I'm just heading to bed.
I'm gonna pick on my little loot.
What are you gonna do, Jub Jub?
I'm gonna sit on like my bed and play my lute and just sing like a dwarf like little song.
Let's hear it. What would it sound like?
I'm still practicing.
There's some pressure right there, buddy. A new guy, gotta sing a song.
Yeah, you guys go ahead and RP this out for a second, because I'm working on something right this second.
Yeah, it takes them a while to put all 50 of those Manicores on the map. So
no, it's not. It's not nothing like that.
It's being led by that giant lich and those 2 dragons. So.
Well, since Alora had agreed last week to share a room with the, she kind of looks over at him like, "What the hell are you doing? Playing a lute? And can't you see I'm trying to get my beauty rest?"
There ain't no enough rest for that.
You've been insulted. There's not enough rest for that.
Okay. Sit up and give him the evil eye, and you.
I butchered that.
See if there's anything I could possibly.
I butchered that shit. Hopefully they won't. Hopefully they won't see that in the chat. Hopefully.
So kind of contemplating the proper punishment for that. Don't make me send you over to the room with Donk.
No,
Theo's in chat.
Oh, Theo's in chat. You're not going to be able to room with Donk. The gas is terrible after that feast. I don't think it's probably a good idea. I mean, I'm a giant, you know, I'm a Goliath.
What's up, Willie?
So
What's
you
up,
just got to respect a guy that's got some flatulent issues after snacking. So, Raz, what are you doing? Are you communing with nature?
Just listening to the spirits.
Are you not worried at all that we're going to be jumping into this stone monastery tomorrow? You're not worried at all that you're going to be killed like one of your best friends was just a few short days ago?
I try not to get attached to people since I was always traveling by myself. So unless they're my family, then I don't really seem to get attached to very many people. So I'm kind of over it.
You're over it? Don't still
Yeah,
has
I'm over
nightmares.
it. It's not an animal, so.
Oh, it's not an animal. Okay.
Are we at max 6 points?
Yeah, we should be maxed on hit points, and you should have all your spells.
Yep. All right, so the next morning comes. Everything is pretty much uneventful for pretty much everyone. Next morning comes, and what are you guys doing? Getting ready for the most famous Dungeon Master words of all time. What are you guys doing? Preparing for the several-hour journey to the Sacred Stone Monastery? I would take it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Dave, Donk got some rest. I'm gonna throw my stuff in my Hello Kitty backpack. Load that up on my back. Of course, everything's a Hello Kitty backpack when you got a monster fat back like I do.
Of course.
And I'm gonna just go ahead and I'm probably the first one up, so I'm gonna go knock on everybody's door, and I'll yell, "Guys, let's go! Come on, I'm tired of waiting. Let's go kill those monks."
Laura's too busy sorting and resorting and labeling and relabeling all of her assortment of collectibles, and we probably would be one of the last ones to show up downstairs.
So I'm expecting there's going to be some kind of a meal before we go, Dave.
Sure.
I haven't eaten in like 4 hours, so
yeah.
I'm sure my stomach is growling.
Sure, there's all kinds of, several of the other riders are in their full garb, and there's also a couple other travelers that introduce themselves as riders and congratulate you because they had arrived during the night. Congratulations, they congratulate you for taking the Manticore out in its cave, and that they're not needed and they're heading back to Watergate. To Watergate, Waterdeep.
Watergate.
You're gonna see Nixon there.
Yeah, but I have a book that I've been reading for 2 years that I just read the last chapter on that. I'm
just
trying to get that book done.
Dave.
And Watergate was still in my mind. I like the Watergate scandal. It was pretty interesting. Lemon dropped.
These guys,
thanks for the follow, Lemon
goes
dropped.
up to one of these guys and he's like, "Are you flying back to Waterdeep?"
No, they're going to be on their mounts. They'll be on their steed.
I'm obviously disappointed. My face, so I just go, "Daw! I wanted to see what kind of birdie you had," and I shuffle back to the buffet line or whatever that is, and grab a giant plate of ham and just start chowing it.
There's all kinds of hams, bacons, all kinds of earthy type of breads and muffins and all that good stuff. Fruits, vegetables.
It's a continental breakfast.
Exactly, it is. It's like at your local Holiday Inn when you get up and, except for the glazed donuts, there's no donuts on. No, sure, there can be some donuts on there. What the hell?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? It's a fantasy game. Why not?
Thanks, Dave. Thanks for teasing the fat guy with donuts. They're just imaginary donuts. Okay, guys, RP that donut eaten out.
Speaking of Manticore stew, I actually had my own version of Manticore stew tonight. I had a beef stew tonight. It was pretty good. I actually put it in the crock pot yesterday and let it cook all day, and it was just so good. Oh my god.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I love it when the house smells so good from food cooking all day,
Who else is at this breakfast? Is everyone there?
Yeah, there's some other riders. They come in and fill up a small bag, and Thurl's there, Sauvers, and you can see them shaking hands and whatnot, and saying that they'll see them for the next hunt. When time for that next hunt comes around. So some other riders had gotten there during the night. Basically, they were all going to participate in the King's Quest. But seeing that you guys have already completed it, all of these riders that are now getting to the Feathergale Spire are basically going back because there's no quest to be had now.
So Donk just looks at one of those guys and he goes, "Ha ha! Too bad. There's probably plenty of manicores if you just look around. We found ours in a big cave."
Raz kind of looks over at Sauvers and tries to make eye contact with her and gives her a nod of agreement.
All right. We should toss the halfling off of the tower, like in the old days, the old King's Quest. No, I'm just kidding.
And Raz dies.
So we'll take out Alora, Donk, and Raz tonight. Kel wins the game. All right, so breakfast is done. Basically you guys are done. Any last things before you guys head over to the monastery? Because I know this is itching. You guys are itching for this. So.
I could tell that was an American Eagle hat, by the way, Donk. From the little eagle on the back.
Oh, really?
So as you guys,
I'm sorry.
You guys leave the monastery. You guys are traveling through the valley, and this is an image of what the valley looks like. This is just imagine yourselves in an area like this. I mean, a beautiful area, lots of ruins all over the place. All kinds of small plateaus. Bursting out through the Earth's surface. Rolling grass hills, all that. Now, you guys.
What's the temperature like, Dave? Is this like a desert or like a?
No, it's just like the picture that I just had shown you.
Yeah.
It's very moderate climate, very nice traveling weather, not too hot, not cold. Now, you know that it would get cold at night, absolutely. Because it got rather cold, and when you guys were staying in the Manticore's cave, the cave, that it has the potential to get quite. I don't want to say nipply, but I'll just say nipply at night. So yeah, nippy at night. Yeah.
Donk is nipply.
All right, so you guys are making the several hour travel on the outskirts of the Summit Hills, and you approach the Scarlet Stone Monastery. And let me give you guys a map. All right, there is your map. I'm going to put everyone on the map, and it is a very large building. Every one of these squares is 5 feet. Everybody's tokens are down. You should hopefully be able to move them. I saw one move, so that's a good thing. All right, so you guys are at the base of this massive stone monastery. It is in the Somber, on the edge of the outskirts of the Somber Hills, and this was something that you had really not heard of being around.
I think further out we would stop and watch and see if anyone's around or anything before we get that close.
You can see that it looks like there is a tower in the far part of the monastery. The grounds around are more earthen than there's small splotches of grass around, but it's more earth up here, more dirt, more rocks.
Well, Donk isn't afraid of no freaking rocks. I'm gonna go ahead and take the lead and go up
Sure.
these stairs.
Yeah, so
and
when
just
you...
kind of lean up against that door.
Okay. Well, before you get to the door, you guys are traveling up a trail. And the trail basically leads into an ever-narrowing defile, basically between bluffs of wind-sculpted sandstone. And eventually the walls draw in so close that you guys can reach out and touch either side. So basically you're in such a very tight, walkway going through this, basically this a trail that's in the middle of like a one of the hills.
So am I gonna have to turn sideways? How
No.
the heck is my fat donk guy gonna get through there?
You're kind of just you're just small enough to where you don't have to worry about it. But you guys, as the narrow space opens up, you guys are in like a canyon in the heart of the hills. And you can see this beautiful, sprawling monastery. Beautiful, but dark, with very narrow windows and red tile rooftops that's standing in the middle of this natural amphitheater that is totally surrounding you. And, of course, it's ringed by sand cliffs all around. Now ahead, you can see a weathered flight of stone steps that are leading up to the closed monastery doors. And as you get closer, the plain doors are made of a heavy timber with iron studs. And then there is a dusty footpath that basically circles the building.
All right. So this is kind of like a hidden area, right? I mean, obviously winding through these areas.
Yeah, not a lot of people know about this monastery. And in fact, you guys have been around now Red Larch for quite a bit. And you never heard any kind of talk or anyone discussing, this sacred monastery, this stone monastery. Kind of
So
funny how the Thurl and Sovereign, the other writers at the Feathergale Spire, knew about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah,
That
there's
is
a
interesting.
couple. There's windows spaced out evenly, as you guys can see. There is this trail that basically encompasses the entire monastery. As you guys walk up to the stairs, the trail goes right, the trail goes left. In the back, as you guys open up, as you guys get into this huge amphitheater, this natural, wind-carved amphitheater, you can see in the back of this monastery there is a tower that kind of rises above the rest of the monastery.
So you mentioned that there's some windows up here. So Donk's going to get in front of one of these windows and stealthily peer in.
Okay, give me a stealth check, Donk.
All right, here we go. I'm already rolling dice, everybody.
This is big.
This
is
is big, huh? Not too bad, Donk. You can actually get up to the windows, which the windows are very clean. For an old monastery, the windows are clean. You can see through, and you can actually see inside of the monastery. You're tall enough to where you can see basically eye level. And inside of this room, you see that there are two robed figures, both wearing a gargoyle type of mask, and they're facing one another, and they're still. They're not. You can tell that they're definitely not statues.
Is this an eyes wide shut situation, Dave? Because I don't know if I should continue to look if it is.
No, they're just kind of across the room from one another, kind of staring at each other. Sort of like they may be on some type of maybe a guard duty or something. But they definitely resemble the appearance of what you would recognize as a monk. The
And
robes, the sandals, but they have these strange masks on that look like gargoyles with the large horns coming off of them and whatnot.
And I want to look at their robes, kind of just peer around. And am I seeing that that symbol that we saw with the Earth cult, the evil Earth coat symbol?
Not that you can see offhand. No, you don't see
Okay.
anything like that.
All right, so I'm going to turn around and tell everybody in a hushed tone, which is probably hard for Donk to do. I'm going to turn around and say, "Guys, there's two gargoyle people in there, and they're just staring at each other." I think we could surprise them if we jump in and attack.
I love it.
What say you? I'm gonna lumber.
I'm in.
You're in, yes.
I'm in.
So then I'm gonna lumber. After I say that, I'm gonna lumber back and kind of press my ear against the door to wait for the opportune time to jump through.
Okay, I'm not even going to make you do a perception check for that. All you can hear is silence. All you can hear is silence, Donk.
So Donk turns around and he gives a thumbs up to everybody. What say you guys? Should we break open the door?
Say kick somebody. I say kick that stuff.
You guys remember
Perhaps we
there's
should have been more circumspect, but it's a
there's
little late for that.
there's a trail. I mean, Donk is like, should I kick the door in? And
Yeah, I
just
guess
say
we could walk around.
there's
and
trails
look at
around the
rest
side, guys. Also, you know, it's like I was telling you. There, I'm trying to give you guys, you know, some
Giving us some
features
hints.
of the area. Yeah, you can if you just want to burst right in, I'm all for it. Let's do it.
Hey,
I'm
Dave.
ready.
Hey Dave, do those trails lead around? Can we see they lead around to like any windows where we can get a different view of the rooms and all that stuff?
Well, you're going to have to explore that to find out. But yeah, you can see everything what you've seen as you kind of come into this, you know, this open area, or this amphitheater as it's called. Yeah, it's definitely a natural amphitheater, and whatever you can see is what you can see. You can explore the rest, and
So if
you know, find some more. There's all kinds of things around. Yeah, definitely. You see that the trail goes all the way around each side of the
Well, since
monastery.
Raz is the only one that gave me a thumbs up, I guess I'll come back down from here.
If
And
you
I'll
want
give
to
you a
burst
thumbs
in, go for it. If you want to burst in, I'm ready. Let's do it. Or you can even knock on the door. I mean, you can knock on the door if you want to. It don't matter. You can do all kinds of cool stuff.
Housekeeping.
Housekeeping, me come in.
Well,
Candygram.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I think maybe what Theo had a good idea to walk around and get a better vantage point through some of these other windows.
Sure. Yeah, you can do that.
I was just asking to make sure I was even tall enough to look into the windows.
You would have to have a little bit of help from Donk because the windows are a little bit higher up than what a dwarf stature is. But you know, you'd have to get a little bit of help.
So you lead the way, Theo. Donk will follow. I'll give you boost. Oh.
As you toss them through the window. Oops.
Oh, Dave, are you making a dwarf tossing joke?
I never said dwarf tossing.
Why doesn't half of us go one way and half of us go the other and then meet back?
Yeah, I was thinking
Okay,
the same thing.
let's do that. Theo, Donk and you and Donk follow this way. We'll go to the west. Or I guess we go left.
Alright, I guess Brad and I'll go to the right.
Donk, that's your other left, the other way.
No! Donk not know directions so good. Just forward.
This is too good.
So Theo, I'm gonna go ahead and Donk will kind of bend over and get on all fours, and a motion for Theo to climb up on his back. And remember, Theo, that Donk is incredibly fat, so be careful you don't pinch his blubber with your shoes. That would probably be smart.
Pinches blubber. Jesus.
You know, I'm on all fours. My lard is probably leaking into the ground. There's all these ripples and stuff laying around. I just don't want you to step on my fat too hard.
Leaking into the ground.
That's just how I'm imagining it. So go ahead, Theo, jump on and take a look around.
As I climb up on his back, I'm like, Donk, stay still, your fat's jiggling.
I'll start laughing. Ho, 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 ho. You're just lucky I'm not wearing butter.
Well,
Hey Dave, am I tall on top of Donk's back? Am I tall enough to see in the window now?
sure thing. Let me finish getting the rest of this map uncovered for you guys.
I feel like just turning on my rage and jumping through the window. I'm just in that mood.
Are you
Maybe
in
I
that
had too
mood?
many Red Bulls. I must have had too many Red Bulls, Dave.
Are you jacked the fuck up right now, Worm?
I'm wired.
You are high on life, my friend. You are high on life. All right, so this is pretty much as you guys are searching around the entire perimeter of the monastery.